welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Liallure and I'm back at it again with another video. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey, my name is Leah. I make videos, I do story times, I do hauls, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Science light for the kids, you know the vibes. And if you're a returning subscriber, hey friend, how are you? I hope you're doing wonderful, fabulous, beautiful, amazing. So quick disclaimer before I get started with this story time. If my voice sounds a little hoarse, like I am crate training my puppy, and yeah, I just like I've been talking a lot more than usual. I'm like telling her to stop and no and this and that, so my voice is a little bit hoarse. So, but I mean, I hope it's not that bad. Just ignore it. It is Storytime Sunday, everybody's favorite day of the week, and I'm back with another one because my life is ghetto. I know it, you know it, shit, we all know it. So let's just get started. For this story in particular, because it happened so long ago, like I wrote down notes, so if you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my phone and at the notes. Okay, so I don't know what I'm gonna name this, but obviously you're watching it right now, so you see what I named it. I just want to let you know right now, if I say that it was a fight, it was a little bit more than fisticuffs. You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit more than that, all right? Okay, so this story takes place 10 years ago, back in 2010. I know. And because I'm so dedicated to y'all and telling this story and letting y'all know like I'm not capping, I went back on Facebook and I literally found the messages between these two people, right? Because, you know, authenticity here, okay? This happened in 2010. Back in 2010, I was a freshman in high school. I had just started high school, and so like a lot of new things were happening with me. If you watched one of my last story times, well, it was a few story times ago, but basically it was a story time about how my friend stole my man. I'm gonna leave it up in the cards here somewhere. At the time, I was dating this guy from the story time, and then a few months later, of course, we broke up. Like, y'all know that. Okay, so this story takes place in 2010, back when I was a freshman in high school. It was super long ago, but I got the screenshots for y'all, so I got the story down pat, right? Okay. So back in 2010, it was my freshman year of high school, and I was dating this guy from one of my story times. This is the story time about how the guy, my friend basically stole my man. That's the same guy I was dating. Still, at this time, I was heavy on Facebook. Around this time, everybody my age was on Facebook. It was all the Facebook teams. Everybody was popping on Facebook. Like, everybody was competing to see who could have the most Facebook friends. Like, Facebook was where you went. It was no TikTok, no Instagram. Like, it was Twitter, but people really wasn't on it like that. Facebook was the place to be, essentially. So one day I was on Facebook and I got a friend request. Back then, people were adding anyone on Facebook. Like, you really didn't even have to be friends. You didn't have to know them from a can of paint. If somebody added you, you would accept the request. Like, that's just what it was. Because like I said, everybody was competing to see who would have the most like Facebook friends and be the most popping on Facebook. Like, just corny shit, right? So I had like kind of a protocol for Facebook, because even though it really didn't matter who I was friends with, I didn't want just anybody on my timeline posting creep shit, sending me messages, trying to link up with me. Like, no, I didn't want that. So I made sure I had a protocol. My rule of thumb for adding people on Facebook was basically, if we didn't have a mutual friend together, 9 out of 10 times I would deny your request. But if we had like 1 or 2 mutual friends, like I would probably accept it, but I would probably hit you up like, who are you? Where do I know you from? What do you want from me? Basically. One day I got this friend request from this guy, and for the purpose of this story, we're gonna call him O-Dog. And if you ever watch Menace to Society, you know why I'm calling him O-Dog, okay? Because he was a little nuts. Anyway, so we're gonna call him O-Dog, and I got a friend request from him in 2010. I don't have the screenshots on my phone right now, but I'll post it on the screen of basically what he said to me. I started off the conversation by saying, hey, I got your friend request. Where do I know you from? You know, I don't want to be adding just anyone on Facebook. He said, I'm friends with your friend, and he said the name of the girl. This was somebody I actually knew, like in person. I saw her all the time because I used to go to religion class, religious school. They were called religion classes. If you didn't know, I was raised Catholic, and I had to do like my first communion and my confirmation and stuff like that. In order for you to get that rite of passage completed, you have to go to like a bunch of classes on Saturday to, you know, go through the whole process. The girl he was talking about is somebody who was in that class with me. So I've known her for like a few years at this point, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like that's nice or whatever. So I accept his friend request. Then he goes to ask me if I'm cuffed. I don't know if this was like a nationwide lingo, whatever, but cuffed in New York used to mean like, do you have someone? Cuffed, like, are you chained to someone? Do you have a boyfriend type shit? At the time, like I just told y'all, I did have a boyfriend, so I was like, yeah. He goes, lucky man. And you know, you right. So, stop. So, as I was getting to know old dog, like we were talking here and there on Facebook, but not really that much. Like it got gradually, the way we communicated with each other, it gradually increased within time, you know, getting to know someone and realizing that y'all click or whatever. But I will say that when me and the guy that I was with broke up, that's when me and O-Dog became like this. Like, this was my ace. I was talking to him every hour on the hour. And if I was busy or he was busy, we'd be like, oh, be back, bestie. Like, that type of thing. We were always talking to each other. Like, when I say we were like this, we were like this. We were like Bati and Bench. Like, literally. When you hear me, you hear him. Like, basically. And I want to say, like, me and O-Dog really didn't meet each other until like a year later, but I'm gonna get to that. But I'm just trying to paint y'all a picture of like our relationship. We basically talk to each other about I just want to paint y'all a picture of our relationship. We basically talk to each other about any and everything. At the time, I didn't really have a lot of friends, especially not in my school. So I didn't really talk to people about what was going on with me, my life, and my family. But when it came to O-Dog, like I literally used to talk to him about anything, and he would talk to me about anything that was going on with him. Like, when I used to be on the phone with him, I used to talk to his brother, his sister. He was the oldest one out of his siblings, so I used to talk to his little siblings. When they were being bad, I used to be like, y'all need to chill on your brother, that type of thing. Like, his parents knew who I was. Anytime he was on the phone, they'd be like, is that Leah? And his mom used to bring back like, hey girl, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, this was my ace, okay? Like, yeah. So now that we're talking and we're getting closer and we're like this to each other, I'm not thinking that this relationship is gonna get romantic or anything like that. We used to flirt like on and off, but when I tell you it was like very innocent flirting, at least from my end, it was very innocent flirting. He never made me feel uncomfortable, never stepped out of bounds, never said anything wild, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was always all copacetic between the two of us. One day, to my surprise, baby, O-Dog tells me like, yo, I've actually been in love with you for like a few weeks now. And I'm like, oh. Like, I was not expecting that, but I mean, when you talk to somebody that often, it's likely that something like that could happen. So it wasn't really a shocker, but it wasn't something I was expecting, really. I didn't see him like that, so I told him like, hey, you know, like, you're a great person, I love you, you're my best friend, but like, I don't see you in that way. And he was cool with that. He took it really well. Like, he wasn't salty about it, no nothing. Like, we continued being as close as we were, and that was that. Now, this is important, right? And I'm telling y'all this for a reason, so make sure you pay attention to what I'm saying right now. O-Dog was a loose cannon. He was very unpredictable, okay? He was a wild card. You never knew what you was getting with him. I would text this boy at the end of the school day being like, oh, how was your day? How are you doing? Da, 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 da. He'd be like, oh, I just got in a fight. Oh, I got suspended. Oh, I got detention. Oh, I got kicked by a horse. Oh, I sliced somebody in the face. Like, anytime I talk to this guy, like, I literally never knew what to expect. A lot of people are predictable and you know what they're gonna say, but O-Dog was not one of them. Like, literally, I never knew what he was gonna tell me. I never knew what his day was gonna be like. It was just nuts from start to end, every single time with him. Just crazy, just madness with him. So I knew that he was a wild card, and you know, I would tell him like, you need to chill, you need to behave or whatever. There's sometimes he used to be like, oh, you're trying to change me. I'm like, I'm not trying to change you. I'm trying to make sure you stay out of jail. Like, I really don't want to see you locked up. So you need to calm down. You're at a 10. I'm gonna need you to bring that to a 5. Okay? I used to really like try to help him out and, you know, be a good friend and a good influence to him and stuff like that. It didn't really work out. He was just who he was, and that's okay. O-Dog was also associated with some colors. I'm not gonna say the word or the color, but it's the one and only Digo Double G. Stick with me, all right? He was associated with some colors, and so he would always get into like these fights and trouble and stuff like that. And I used to always be like, yo, you need to stop, you need to relax, whatever. So now, fast forward to a month later, I got a boyfriend, and I remember the date specifically that I became his girlfriend because the date was very unique. It was 10/25/10. So October 25th, 2010. That was the date that we became official. And I always remember that because it was such a specific date, you know what I mean? So I had this boyfriend that I told a story about too. It was actually one of the first story times I've ever told on this channel. It was a story time of the guy that cheated on me. Yeah. This was him. For the purpose of the story, we're gonna call him Jonathan. I don't know what I called him in the last story, but we're gonna call him Jonathan today. When it came to Jonathan, right, like, I know I call O-Dog in this story, but Jonathan was the real dog. He was the real dog, okay? Because he really used to violate me, and he used to violate me in a very public way. There was a lot of times where his female friends would post something on his wall super inappropriate, and he would just laugh, let it rock, and act like he don't got a whole girlfriend. Okay? Like, literally all my friends would peep that he would post crazy stuff. His friends would post crazy stuff on his wall. Oh, daddy, when you gonna call me? I miss you, stink. All types of crazy shit. Like, bro, wild. And what's worse about the situation is that my friends would peep. They would peep that his girlfriends, his female friends, would post on his wall crazy stuff, and he would be kikiing with them, and they're like, you not seeing this? Like, you just gonna let this rock? I remember specifically there would be times where, like, Jonathan, literally, I would talk to him and I would peep something and I would tell him about it, and he would just be like, oh, don't worry about it, you're doing too much. But there was this time, and I'm gonna post the screenshots here on the screen somewhere. There was this time he specifically told me,
if you haven't seen what's going on already, then I don't know what to tell you, and it's giving that you're a little bit blind right now. You know what I mean?
Like, he was basically saying, like, look, if you don't see what's going on in front of your eyes, like, this man was cheating out in the open. He literally wasn't even hiding it, and I was just letting it rock, and it just shameful. Ugh, my God. I throw up a little every single time I think about all the things I allowed to happen. Crazy. Okay, so now I'm gonna connect the two people together. I already told you about O-Dog and I told you about Jonathan. O-Dog is the best friend and Jonathan is the boyfriend, okay? Now here's where they meet. Jonathan already knew about O-Dog. He knew about him because he was my best friend. Like, I wasn't hiding anything from him or anybody. Sometimes O-Dog would post on my wall and be like, hey, I miss you. Like, when are you gonna call me? Da 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 da. And I would talk to him. Like, I wasn't hiding anything at all from my boyfriend. Nothing. He had the password to my Facebook. If he wanted to see messages, he could have seen it freely. There was no problem at all. No time there was a problem, at least from my end, child. So even though Jonathan knew about O-Dog, he really didn't know him like I did, right? He didn't know that my friend was with the shits, okay? My friend liked to tussle. My friend was ready to rumble at any point in time. He would drop anything to fight. Like, it's really nothing. It's nothing. It's go every single time for O-Dog. Every single time. Jonathan didn't know this, right? Another important thing that I have to mention is that O-Dog was part of Colors and Jonathan was part of Colors, but they were part of opposite colors, right? Opposite colors. They were in rival teams, okay? In rival teams. So they already had kind of like a beef with each other, but from O-Dog's perspective, like, it wasn't really nothing serious. Like, he really didn't care about nothing like that. But Jonathan wanted to be big and bad, okay? He wanted to show his ass and act like he was the big dog here. That's what he wanted to act like. Let me get to that. So one day, right, I posted something. Now I went back on Facebook to see if I could find it in the archives, because there's a way on Facebook where you can, like, go through your posts from a recent year. But I think there's a glitch on the website. It really wasn't letting me see nothing like that. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to retrieve the post or the screenshots. If by the time I'm editing this video, the page is back up again, I will post it here on the screen for y'all. Anyway, so I posted something. I'm really not sure what it was. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna make something up. O-Dog comments under it. We're having a short conversation. We're kikiing, we're laughing, just, you know, best friends, like, you know what I'm saying? But we're talking and it's all good. It's really no problems at all. All of a sudden, right, Jonathan hits me up.
Are you talking to that nigga on your wall? You're talking to that nigga, you embarrassing me. You making people feel like you and him have a thing together.
You're not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
What?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What? First of all, with all the things that you have done to me, you should be the last person to talk about I'm embarrassing anybody. Be quiet. Shut up your mouth. Be quiet. I'm like, no, you're bugging right now. Like, you know that's my best friend. You know there's nothing going on. Like, just shut up. Can it? So he's like,
oh, watch.
A few minutes later, ding ding, notification. Jonathan decides to insert himself in the conversation between me and O-Dog under my status. He starts coming at this man's neck. He's like,
oh, why are you talking to my girl? Stop talking to my girl. Don't act like you like that because you're really not like that.
O-Dog is like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, where is this coming from? Like, I don't understand. Like, you know we're just friends. What are you doing? So he's like,
oh, I don't have to explain nothing to you, nigga. Just know you don't have to talk to my girl, da 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 da.
At first, O-Dog was really trying to remain calm, and I could tell by the way he was responding, he was trying to remain calm. Like, he really wasn't trying to start nothing, and he was basically like LOLing the whole time because it was funny to him. It was funny because he really was about it, and my boyfriend at the time didn't want no smoke with him at all. So O-Dog is like, yeah, you're wilding right now, relax, it's not that serious, you know what it is with her, calm down if I take your girl. And now that really riles Jonathan up. It riles him up. This man is calling him out his name, getting crazy with him, all types of shit. So the two of them are going back and forth for at least 30 minutes on my wall. At least 30 minutes, calling each other names, getting crazy with each other, all types of crazy shit. Now, people that I know, people from my school and friends of mine, they're sending me inboxes like, yo, what's going on? Why is your friend and your boyfriend arguing? What's happening right now? Like, this shit is crazy. You know, just being nosy. People in my business, as usual. And so I'm like, yo, chill out, don't worry about it. Like, I got this under control.
That is not correct.
So now I intervene at some point and I'm like, both of y'all need to chill out, stop talking to each other, like, relax, it's not that serious, just dead it. Both of y'all dead it right now. So now O-Dog goes, all right. He tags my boyfriend and he goes, watch what I do to you. What you gonna do, O-Dog? What do you have planned, friend? Like, at this point, I'm like, I know how he is, and when he say he gonna do something, he gonna do something. He gonna violate you. But I'm hoping that, like, if I send him a message and I'm like, yo, chill out, like, it's not that serious, relax, it's not that serious, like, he'll listen. He did no such thing. The next day, I'm in gym class and I was talking to my boyfriend that same night that the two of them were arguing, and my mom had this rule where, like, I really couldn't be on my phone past a certain time. Like, I was about 14, 15 at the time, and my mom really wasn't having it. So she had this rule where I couldn't be on my phone past a certain time. She came into my room, of course, I was on the phone, being grown, and she took the phone away from me. I didn't have the phone the next day. Next day comes, I'm in the gym class, not doing work as usual, not running, not chasing a ball, nothing, just sitting, vibing, and Wattpad, right? I'm on Wattpad as usual, I'm reading. I'm saying I was reading because I was reading on an iPad. I had borrowed an iPad because my school was very, like, tech savvy. They had a lot of, like, MacBooks and stuff like that because it was one of the new, like, project learning schools. So we had a lot of iPads and stuff like that. So I'm reading on an iPad, right, that I borrowed from one of my favorite teachers. So I'm reading, I'm chilling, I'm out of my business, you know, I'm not doing any work. My friend comes in the gym and she's like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? Did you see what happened? I'm like, what? Like, what? What's happening? What's happening? Like, what's going on? She's like, you don't know what's happening? I'm like, no. Should I know what's happening? She goes, bro, you need to go on Facebook right now because your best friend just stabbed your boyfriend. Bitch. Wait. What are you talking about? What are you saying right now? She was like, yeah, it's all over Facebook. Your best friend just stabbed your boyfriend. I'm like, stop lying. Like, why are you capping like that? That's not even funny. She's like, I'm not lying. Why would I make that up? So I take her phone, I log onto my Facebook from her phone, I get into my account, and I see my boyfriend throwing mad shots at this nigga. He's tagging him, oh, when me and my friends see you, we gonna violate you, we gonna do this, we gonna do that, you better watch out, going off, really blacking on this nigga, right? And of course, my best friend being my best friend, like, he really didn't care, so he wasn't gonna throw no shots. He did what he did. So I get out the gym class now, and it's a passing period. So I'm on my friend's phone, and I'm calling my boyfriend, and I'm like, yo, are you good? What happened? This guy is cursing me out. He's like,
don't talk to me, get off my phone, stop talking to me, stop talking to me if I violate you. You know what you did, this is all your fault.
nigga, what? What?
Now why am I in it?
And you could have did it.
See how I get thrown in
because you never apologized.
Because I told you to leave that boy alone, and you're the one who was going off on him. You're the one who was threatening him. You're the one who started this shit. This is not my fault. I didn't do anything, okay? I didn't do nothing. So he's like,
oh yeah, stop talking to me, get off this phone, da da da. Whose number is this even? What's wrong with you? Didn't your mom take away your phone, little ass girl?
all right, bro, like, relax, calm down. So now I'm like, I called him back because he banged it on me. He hung up the phone. I called him back and I'm like, yo, like, I'm just trying to figure out if you're okay. Like, stop blacking, what's good? He had this friend, her name was Danielle, and I'm gonna say her name. Her name was Danielle. He had this friend, her name was Danielle. She was his best friend or whatever. I think they was low-key. That's neither here nor there. So he's like, I'm in the hospital with Danielle. Like, she took me to the emergency room. I'm good. I'm trying to figure out where this nigga got stabbed, because how are you not bleeding out on the table right now? Like, what's happening? Essentially, he got stabbed in his arm, but it wasn't like a really deep wound. It was like a flesh wound. Like, my best friend didn't penetrate too hard into his arm so that he needed surgery or anything like that. It was just something minor. He needed stitches for it. So after he tells me, like, I'm good, don't worry about me, my best friend is here, he hangs up on me again. Later on that night, I get home, I get on Facebook, and I'm trying to talk to O-Dog, and I'm like, yo, bro, what happened? Like, you need to run this back, tell me what happened. He's like, don't worry about it, I took care of it. I took care of it. And I'm like, what do you mean you took care of it? Like, why would you do that? Like, what's going on? Why would you do that? He was like, I took care of it. I told that nigga if he keep running his mouth, I would violate him. And what did I do? Violate him? He literally was on the phone like, and what about it? I'll do it again. And the thing is, I was not shocked because this is my best friend. Like, I know him. Like I said, it's my ace. I know he's a little off his rocker. Like, if he say he's gonna do something, he's gonna do something. I just didn't know what that thing was. I thought maybe they would fight eventually or nothing like that. No, he pulled up to this boy's school and yoked him up. Yoked him up, literally. I was like, oh. And I know y'all are probably thinking, like, how do you even know what school he went to? Like, how do you know any of this information? On Facebook, people were posting like where they went to school, so that information was public. Not only that, but O-Dog and my boyfriend had actually gone to school in the same borough. They both went to school in Queens. My boyfriend lived in Queens, actually. He was from Queens. He went to school in Queens, like, but O-Dog was from Brooklyn, but he went to school in Queens. So the two of them, their school wasn't even too far away from each other. I guess when it came to lunchtime, whatever the case is, I guess because their schools were so close to each other, what O-Dog did was he literally left school because he was bad. He was bad. He didn't listen to nobody. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. So he just left school, okay? He left school. He showed up to this boy's school. He waited till he came outside and he yoked him up. Around this time, it was around 2 p.m. When this whole thing went down, it was 2 p.m. and both of their schools let out early, but O-Dog had just left a little early to go find him, okay? So, I guess he caught him at what appeared to be the right time. I say the right time because obviously, like, I didn't want my boyfriend to get yoked up, but he caught him at a time where he was outside. So that's how that happened. What happened in the end really was I didn't really talk to O-Dog for quite some months because I was just like, yo, like, you can't be out here just hitting people with a pokey because you're upset. Like, you can't be doing that. You know, that's not okay. That's not okay. That's terrible behavior. And also, I felt like I had some loyalty to my boyfriend, even though I knew O-Dog before him. And he was cheating on me a lot. So, really didn't owe him anything except my ass to kiss. But, so, yeah, I felt like I had some loyalty to my boyfriend. So, like, I stuck beside him, all right? And I stopped talking to O-Dog for a while. We did start talking again eventually. And then we started dating for a cute little minute. Like, it wasn't even that long. I swear to God, it was probably like a month, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, so that's the end of that story. Me and my boyfriend obviously broke up eventually at some point. Hallelujah, thank God, because I have a lot of words for him. And to this day, if I catch you in the streets, I too might violate you. So there's that. I mean, that's not a threat. That's not a threat. Okay, I'm not gonna do anything to him, but like, yeah, no, me and him have nothing to do with each other. Don't talk to me, don't see me. Yeah, that's the end of my story. That's what happened with my boyfriend and my best friend. It was very ghetto. It was very, very ghetto. And you want to know something? But like I was saying, like, I feel like what's funny is that people like this always gravitated towards me when I was in high school. Like, they literally, trouble always found me, even though I wasn't looking for no problems, honey. Like, but they always found me. So I was always in these situations with guys who just didn't know how to act and behaved terribly. O-Dog was my best friend and we had a great time together. He was always nothing but an angel to me. Had my back, 100%, okay? Like, he was rolling out for me, right? He was riding out for me, okay? And I have nothing bad to say about him. Like, he yoked up my boyfriend. I don't know, like, he wasn't the best boyfriend anyway, girl. Not to say he deserved it, but I'm not God. I can't stop that. Oh wait, also you guys, if you guys want to know like more stories like this about high school and all the things that I went through with these guys that were associated with things they should not have been associated with, and I somehow got dragged into it, leave a comment down below. Like, I will tell y'all the stories, okay? Like, I swear to God, I will tell y'all. I went digging on Facebook for messages 10 years ago. I will do it. I will find them for y'all because I have the stories. I will tell them. Yeah, that's what happened. That's the end of my story. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe and join the gang because you already watched this whole video. You might as well stick around. Follow me on all my socials. That is Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. That is in the description and also in the outro. Call me, beat me if you wanna reach me. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Shout out to everybody. I had fun.